Hello, Gina here, life designer coach and holistic Feng Shui consultant. And if you're not super familiar with me yet, I help people let go of expectations so that they can design lives and homes that are deeply aligned with their most authentic goals and values. So welcome. And today I want to talk about creating spaces that serve multiple purposes. So I would say the majority of the clients that I work with, the Feng Shui clients that I work with, have at least one room in their house that they want to serve multiple purposes or multiple intentions. So whether they want it to be an office and a workout room or a living room and a playroom, etc., they have at least one space that they want to serve these multiple purposes. So today I wanted to give you 4 different tips and tools that will help you when you're thinking about your own space, especially a space that you want to serve multiple intentions, and also give you a little tour of my current bedroom, because I have these dreams of doing, MTV Cribs, Feng Shui inspired tours in the future. So here it is. The first one is going to be my own space. So I hope that this serves you. Okay, so what are these 4 practices? Number 1, get really clear on what your goals and intentions are. So what are the most important things to you in your life right now? What are your most important intentions for this space? And how does that translate into what do you want to use this space for that will support your goals and intentions? Number 2, create zones in your space. And I'll get into a little more details of what that looks like. Number 3, create transitional habits or practices that help you go from one activity or one intention to the next. Number 4, have practices that help you keep your space clean and clear. And again, I'll go into what this looks like. Okay, so to break down number 1, get really clear about your goals and intentions. So let me tell you how this played out in my life. So the space that I'm currently in, I've been here for 9 months, and this was always going to be a transitional space. I knew I wasn't going to be here for, longer than a year, probably under a year, and I'm getting ready to leave now. So when I came here and I was thinking about, okay, what are my most important goals and intentions? One of them was to focus on practices that fueled my energy, that left me feeling nourished, that helped me create a positive mindset. The past year was definitely a rocky one for me, maybe for you too. So to have a space that really nourished me and left me feeling supported and clear and energized, and creating habits and practices that supported that was really important to me. So how that translated into my space, I knew I really needed a space that was going to help me have restful sleep, and I knew I really wanted a space to help me incorporate movement practices, to help me have morning and evening routines that really nourished me, a meditation practice. All of those things were important to me. And then the second piece, the second intention that was really important to me right now is to have a space that helped me grow and expand in my business. That was really a big focus for me this year. So this one room, this bedroom, had to serve as a place to sleep and get nourishing rest. It had to be a space for my office and feel really expansive and creative and inspiring. It needed to have a space for my meditation practices, my mindfulness practices, and it needed to have a space for movement and exercise. So that could have been like 5 different rooms, right? And I had one room to work with, so that's what I had, and figuring out how to make all of your intentions work. So are you ready for the MTV Cribs inspired tour? Let's go. So welcome to my bedroom. Okay, so my bedroom here, and this is one half of my room. And when I came into this space and needed to figure out where to place my furniture, I played with a couple different configurations. And okay, so right now my bed is placed up against the wall, and it's actually pointed towards the front door of the bedroom. So oh my gosh, I'm breaking a bunch of Feng Shui, best practices here, right? And when I thought about, okay, what are my most important goals and intentions, this served me right now. So one thing that people talk about in Feng Shui is having 2 bedside tables, and that helps, creates an equal flow of energy in both sides. It helps create equity and partnership if you're calling in a partnership. And for me right now, that wasn't a high priority. So the highest priority was to have a bedroom space that created, restful sleep, that supported restful sleep, and that was pretty much the main priority, and allowed me a place to come and relax, at the end of the day. So for me, this configuration worked, and I would encourage you to experiment and see what's going to work for you. If this was my permanent bedroom, this is not the configuration that I would have. And for me right now, this configuration served me. So this is my bedroom zone. So I kind of addressed the first piece there to create a space that's going to serve your goals and intentions, right? And then the second piece was creating zones. So when I say zones, I mean areas that kind of create this enclosed space, or this feeling like this is a cohesive space. So for me, this space and facing this way created a zone. I had originally had the bed facing this way, and in front of me, which I'll show you in a minute, is my office. And that didn't work for me to see into my office. It didn't create that kind of separation. So this creates a little zone. It feels complete to me. So it serves my intention and it creates a zone. All right, so welcome to my office. We're in a new zone now, right? Okay, so for my office, again, this was a big priority for me because a really important intention was to grow and expand my business. So I knew that having a space in this room that was going to leave me feeling creative, expansive, supported, clear, productive, that was really important to me to feel like I could lean into that intention that really mattered. So whereas it wasn't as important for my bed to be in command position in Feng Shui, it felt really good the way that I had situated it, and like that supported and nourished my intention. For my office and my desk, it was more important for that to be in command position. So for me, that meant having windows that I could see out of that left me feeling, inspired and refreshed, and having a solid wall behind me so I felt strong and nourished, and to have an open space in front of me so I felt expansive and creative. So those are some really intentional, conscious choices I made with where to place my desk zone that was going to, again, leave me feeling the way that I wanted to feel, and to have a view in front of me that was going to support and nourish and inspire me. So this half of the room now creates a little zone that feels like an office that supports my intentions. So welcome now to my Zen zone. So like I mentioned earlier, another big goal and intention for me was to really create practices that helped nourish my energy, that helped lift me up, that helped me feeling refreshed and invigorated and inspired. So having a zone, an intentional area of my space that helped me do that was really important to me. And I also mentioned it being important to have a space for movement. So like I said, I created a couple different configurations of this space until I got the most open space in front of me so that I could practice yoga, qigong, any other types of movement practices in this space. So those are the zones of my room, and we covered, get clear on your goals and intentions and create really intentional zones. So the third tip or practice that will really serve you in creating intentional multi-purpose spaces is to create transitional habits or practices. So what I mean by that is to create physical practices in your space that can help you transition from one activity to the next. So for example, when I wake up every morning, the first thing that I do is make my bed, because that's activity is complete. I'm now moving from my bedroom space to my office space or my workspace or my mindfulness space. But that physical act helps me transition from that intention into something else. And I also every day will clear off my desk. So when I'm done working, I put everything away, everything, gets put in its place, and that again helps me transition from one thing to the next. I also use different essential oils, and that helps me transition. So at nighttime, I use certain scents like lavender that help remind me of going into that time for rest and relaxation, that really kind of yin energy time, versus when I'm working, I'll use different scents like lemon, orange, other scents that are invigorating or spark creativity or clarity, and that again helps me remind myself of what intention I'm moving into, what I'm focused on now, so that I'm not distracted by a million different things and pulled in a million different directions. So practice number 4 is clean and clear. So if you're using one room for multiple purposes or intentions, it's likely that you might have some more stuff, right? And it's good to think about a place for everything and everything in its place. So sometimes when I'm, at a friend's house or family, maybe I'm helping them clean up, I'll pick something up and say, where is the home for this? Where does this thing live? And it's important that everything has, maybe not everything, but most things have a designated space, because if it doesn't, it's easy for things to get cluttered and built up, and that's where you can lose focus and get distracted and overwhelmed by all the different things going on in your space. So if you look around and the items in this room don't serve the intentions that you chose, then this is not the room for those things, right? So it's really important to be clean, keep it decluttered, and really intentional for what you are including in this room. And then clear. So to have, in this room, I have multiple things going on, right? I have lots of technology, I have a printer, laptop, clocks, different things. So to do things that clear the energy. So for example, I have orgonite towers that are a combination of different materials that help clear EMFs in the air, that help clear the energy that is emitted from technology, because like I said, this room needs to serve the purpose of me sleeping and rest and renewed, and it also has to serve this really active purpose of my work. So to clear the energy is really important. So those orgonite towers or the Himalayan salt lamp behind me helps keep the air clear, and I open the windows frequently. So doing things that help clear the physical space, and I also have my own practices that help clear, me energetically. So that wraps it up. We've covered 4 different tips and practices to help you create multi-purpose spaces. Number 1, get really clear on your goals and intentions. Number 2, create zones. Number 3, create transitional habits and practices. And number 4, clean and clear. So what happens when you have a space that really supports your truest goals and intentions? Well, for me, I was able to create habits and practices that really restored my energy. I've been practicing TM meditation twice a day. I have space to journal and reflect. I've been working out virtually with my mom once a week, doing yoga or qigong or other things. I've really created some important practices that helped fuel my energy and boost my mindset. And that was a really important goal. And the second really important goal was to grow and expand my business, right? So in the past year, I've seen tremendous growth and expansion of my business. I've grown and added a life coaching certification and really incorporated that into my work. I've doubled my revenue almost from what I did last year to what I've done this year only in the first 6 months. And I've seen tons of learning and growth that has just happened for me personally through this business. So it's been a really supportive space and really helped me in my goals and intentions. So did my space create those results? Not necessarily. And did my space help nourish and propel me forward towards those goals? 100% yes. It's like having a magnifying glass that focuses the energy on something and helps ignite those intentions and really bring them to life. And that's what's possible when you have clarity around what matters to you and when you create conscious choices and surrounding yourself with things, whether in your mindset, your lifestyle, or your environment, that really support your deepest and most authentic goals and values. So I truly hope that this was helpful to you. And if you have any questions at all about how to create this kind of space for yourself, reach out. I'll put links below in the comments of how to book a free discovery call with me, and we can talk about what are your most important goals and values right now, and how might you bring that to life in your space. So again, reach out if you need any kind of support. I am happy to help you. I hope this was useful, and I will talk to you so soon. Bye.